Hi everyone, I'm Grattles and welcome to the Best Start 3 series. This is episode 12 and I did a little bit of work, well maybe a lot of work, in between episodes. Let me show you what I've done and why I did it off camera because it took quite a few hours to do. So let's jump in and get started. So first off, I put truck stops after each of these buildings that we made. We did copper, iron, concrete, steel. The only one I haven't done yet was the plastic and the rubber, but that's alright. But I did truck stops, and let me show you. I ran all these truck routes. So on these roads, we have back and forth, left and right, going in the different directions. Over there is our storage and our pickup for concrete. Over here is our steel. This is our pipes and our beams. And then up here we have, I kind of did this like multi-tier kind of thing going on over here. So kind of had to. I could have ran this two ways, but it would have been very tight. So I decided not to do that. And I ran it one way, and we have rotors. And then we have reinforced plates. And then we have modular frames. There are no plates, rods, or screws coming from this building. We could have, I think, rods, but we don't need them for anything. If we need them for anything else, we'll probably just make them at the factory that needs them. You know, that just makes sense, right? Anyway, this comes down this way and then goes back into the road. So originally I wanted to do the central storage. Then I was thinking about it saying, well, that's going to be double the trucks, right? I'm going to have them picking up from here, dropping off at the central storage. Then whatever place I need to bring the stuff to, they're going to be picking up and dropping off there. So I was like, well, maybe I should just have the trucks come through, pick up what they need, bring it to the new facility. But then I thought, well, maybe not. Maybe I will do the central storage. So I started running a lot of this stuff. And let me show you how I kind of planned this out. So off of where I came up from the road there, I put the storage here, and that was kind of like a perfect height for that like hill there. So I went across and around the whole outside. Then I actually changed up this end a little bit. This was kind of split up. Now it's one continuous road. I don't know why I split it up, but I did. And I thought, well, this could go through here. So it's two tiers, basically. Can I fit a storage unit underneath these? Well, it does fit, as you can see. I cannot put a dimensional depot on it. I'll show you why. It's a little bit short for a dimensional depot. So what I did was, before each of these truck stops, I added some storage for each of them. Can I add the dimensional depot there? I could. Or I could make this higher. I haven't quite figured that out yet. I used glass floors down here. This could come up from here if we needed to. We could put some walls on here. But the height is where I wanted to kind of... I haven't quite thought out if I want to make it a little higher, so I could stick dimensional depots on top, which kind of makes sense inside a central storage area. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter where the dimensional depots are, as long as I can get some stuff when I need it. Another thought was, well, I'm going to have trucks kind of picking up, dropping off, picking up, dropping off. And so I decided probably best, because each one of these guys are going to need a truck stop as well. So they're going to need a truck stop to drop off, and they're going to need a truck stop to pick up. So what I thought was maybe what I'll do is I'll do two tiers. So I don't necessarily need to put the storage down here. I could also, if I go to transportation, and I put the truck stop here, well, that's a little low for that too, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So it looks like I'm going to have to raise the height at least on the insides, because I don't think it's going to fit. And that's the hardest thing, is trying to plan these things out with enough height, and that would kind of match up with everything. So see, this fits fine, but the antenna, well, if I flip this around, it's the antenna that goes through the top, obviously, and the top piece. So let me see, I'm gonna have to redesign this with a little bit more height, because I'm gonna need truck stops below and above. Because my thought process is, one, the lower level will be the drop off or the pickup, and the top part will be the opposite of that, either the pickup or the drop off. And that makes the most sense. I could probably put a ramp here just to bring it up a little bit higher and then bring it around. But then I gotta figure out where, because this would be the only entrance, and I gotta figure out another entrance to bring this down into. And then, oh god, it's a lot of work. So just planning it is a lot of work. But I'm gonna get back to you. I'll be back soon, and we'll see where we go from here. Alright, so I've been messing around quite a bit. And this space over here is really unusable space. It's not low enough or high enough. There's too many ups and downs. So I figured if I made this as also an in or an out, which I could use as both because I made it 4 wide, this might work as another option to come in and out, as well as there, and then both on the main floor. That just seems way more practical. There is a way to get down to this floor, and then all the way back down to the street level here. So this might work because I don't want to have a lot of trucks being paused to get in and out of the storage to pick up and drop off. So now I got to figure out, I think I'm going to do this little piece going across, obviously. And then I think I'm going to do this 4 wide. Well, I don't know. We're going to have to have a lot of storage bucked up, and then truck stops, and it's going to be a lot of truck stops, guys. A lot. I got to figure out how I'm going to arrange the truck stops to drop off and then pick up. So that is another thing I'm going to stop here and figure out, and then I will get back to you because I'm not quite sure. I know I'm going to have lanes, and I'm going to have to, like I said before, put like the back end of the storage for an input or an output, and vice versa. So I'll be back. I just wanted to show you the progress and basically how I kind of came around this and came down and went up and down. So I'll be back. I don't know if I'm keeping this too, because this actually, I don't know. It looks, I think I might put walls in here. Probably the default walls. Let me go into here. Probably these basic walls, I'll make them concrete and then drop them down and then bring them up to cover a lot of this up and to make it look a little bit more like uniform. So something like maybe like that, and probably even to the top like this, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I got a lot of thinking to do. This is one of those reasons why I don't record everything, because I would be here for 20 days. So, alright, I'll be back. Alright guys, let me show you what I got. I spent way too many hours working this out because it is very complicated in a sense. So, these guys don't line up with the ones underneath. Let me show you. So these have to sit up front here. Then you get a storage container. Then you get the lift. Now the storage container's getting loaded down here with the stuff. So that's the drop off. It's getting put into the container and then pushed up and into this, which is the pickup. So you can pick up items from here. So as you can see, you can't really like line up the truck stations. Oh, so this is to the input, that one is to the output. So you had to kind of orchestrate this just right so you have enough room for the roads to kind of come in. And these are pretty much going to be one ways. The truck only picks up one way. and it has to go down and around. So this is all going to be this way. But over here, I wanted to make sure that I can come up from this side, or from this end, or from underneath and come down and come up, just, both ways, and they have to leave as well. So I needed a road that's going to be both, and another back kind of way. It is getting dark, sorry for that. Downstairs, let me just show you why it was complicated. Here I got like 3 roads. Wait. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 wide here. Down below, it's only 2 wide. I think we can get away with it. It might be tight. Not really sure. We're going to figure that out later on when we start running trucks, but it is dark. So I'm going to come back when it's a little light out, and I'll show you a little bit more, and then I'll show you how to set these up and line them up properly. So I'll be back. Alright, so it's daytime now, even though it's dark under here. I did take away this entrance. I did want to say that. We didn't need it, because we now have the up and down over on that side, and I'll show you like the path routes here. And then we still have the above opening, and we have down here open. So anyway, to line this up, either you take these and you do every other one. So you would come in with these, the trucks here. And what I did was I used every other one. So if I hit control, let's see if I can get this lined up properly. There, lines up. And then I do the next one. And then I take away this one. And then I take a storage bin. And that obviously has to be lined up with the output. And I could press H. If you go back, it's too close. So it's exactly where it needs to be. There, if that makes sense. And then you could take this guy and bring him up. But if you do the exact same thing, so that's how I do the first one. So let me show you, because you didn't get to see me do the first one. If I take this up and I go up that way, like that. So I worked with the bottom ones and the top ones at the same time. And so in some circumstances, I had to place things down, see where they lined up, and then see how the roads were going to fit. And then keep doing that until I got where I needed to be. So as you can see, that's going to come up there. I'm going to take the truck station, and I can line this up if I press H, and that shows me, say here, move it over. I knew it had to line up there. Then I look at the input, that's a little too far away. It came back by 1. And that should line up exactly with that one. And that's how I placed it. So that is how I lined up the truck stations. Now, again, if I were to take this, now to get the second one, it would line up with that. Like that. Now, as you can see, I'm actually out one. So I guess it would fit with the thing. I was a little afraid that it would be too close, but I guess it's not, because it does fit. But anyway, that's how you kind of line that up with the bottom one. After you do that, it's fine for the first one. After you do that, you could do every other one. Now, if I were to grab the input here, I could hear it snap to the organization down below. Over here, this outlet. So this power tower was connected to another power tower over there. You could kind of see it, and the wires went through. So I kind of brought it up and above, and I used kind of these steel walls. I think that might be something we're going to use, is some steel walls and some windows. We need it to be a little bit brighter. Obviously, we're going to need some lights and stuff down here as well. But anyway, that's where that lined up. Now, as you can see, this does sit a little far away from that. And I'm wondering if we should actually Let's see the other ones. I don't think the other one... Oh, that does sit like that. It should work, so I think we're good. So anyway, to continue going down the line, again, you're going to place one of these truck stops just like this. Hit control, make sure it's lined up properly and it's facing the right way. And then do another one. And then delete the one in between. So now when we get to this point here, you could see that that's as far as we can go with this because we need this to pass through. It's not wide enough to bring another one in. So we're going to have to stop with 4 on this side instead of doing the 5, which is fine. We still should get enough going on in here that it'll work. So I'm going to go ahead, finish this up, and then I'm going to show you how we run our truck paths. Alright, we are back. Let me show you. So I have this coming in here, and this coming down here, just like a regular road would be. Over in here, I'm going to grab this path. What I'm going to do is, this path is going to go in that direction. When it snaps off the truck station, you could see, it's going to run in that direction. So... it's hard to see on the light concrete, but we're just going to take this down. It's pretty much all the way down. We'll see as far as it goes. It will tell me. When I reach the limit, we'll stop there and then bring it to here somewhere. It's fine. Alright, so now that I got that straight line, I want to make sure I can connect it to, whether it's coming from this way or that way, it doesn't even matter, but it's got to come in. I'm just gonna make sure I run this road down a little bit. Straight. There we go. And then we'll run this one. You just snap it to it. I'm just gonna run it to here, just so I have something to go off of. Alright, so I got this line here, and I found this is the easiest way to kind of connect these roads. So as you can see, once I have a straight line, then you can just connect it to whichever way you're going. So now I got this one coming this way, and obviously it's got to go into there. So connect it in. So it could come off of this road or it could come off of this road, doesn't really matter. The truck station, that's going to come in, and what I usually do is come in until it slides blue. So if it's red, it's not good. So I can back that up and then come and just slightly move back. And there. Now, over here, connect the back end to it. So as you can see, again, it'll turn blue. So I could come off of that road. And then if I grab it, again, that automatically wants to go forward, not backwards. So when I come off of this one, I'm going to need to grab it and pull it into there. And that seems to work. So now each one of these, you have to do the forward facing first. So you got to come here and snap it in. Could I have it come down the line? Yes. But that might prevent the trucks. It'll pause the trucks. So now as you can see, this snapping part here doesn't work. So I have to kind of slide it back just beyond it. Now these trucks might have to wait a little bit, but if I did a straight line just down these, it'll pause each truck behind it. So if there's a truck here, then it might pause this truck because it can't get back onto the road until these trucks move. Whereas if I put these guys back onto the road, they should, in theory, be able to move. So that is why I'm doing it that way. So anyway, I'm just going to continue. I usually go back to where it's red, slide in. I don't want it there. It automatically wants to snap to this point here. I'm going to move this line here. If you delete it, it will only delete up to this spot. So it does make segment points when you stop it. So I like to just run it as far as I can. And then if it comes and snaps where I don't want it to, then I can delete it, and it won't delete the whole line, just up to where you made that segment. So now let's slide it back, and then slide forward, there, and then connect that back up. Like I said here, it can't snap there, so you just slide back, and right there. So these can be a little tricky, especially when you're making turns. Sometimes it doesn't like the width of a turn. But I've noticed if you put the straight turns, the straightaways in first, you can slide them to where you need them, basically. So this guy is already done. This guy is already done. And this is our one way. So this is where we're going to come here. This has to connect up to, not that, because that's going to have to connect up to this one. We have to figure out, I guess, that's going to be coming in this direction. We're going to need room to get down and out. I think this is going to be the last row for now. This has to kind of catch up with this guy, and it's too short of a segment there. If I come here, it's too tight of a turn, obviously. So I'm going to be working on where these are going to connect up to, because obviously there's no down point here. I might leave this open. I might not. I don't know yet. But this obviously is going to be able to come in and connect to the guys that I already connected here. On the down spot, I did not finish connecting these up at all. These still all need to be connected. This is a much tighter fit here, and I'm hoping the trucks can pass each other. I could put down a truck, and it will snap to this line, right? A player is in the way. Of course, a player is in the way. It won't let me move unless I move off of that line. So if I could, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come over to this side. And see, they will bump into each other. And that could be a problem. Which means I might have to bring the lines over to this side a little bit more. And it's got rocks there, but I could lift it up like a ramp and come down. This side has actually a little bit more room. So if I go like this here, say, and I'd say, well, maybe I could put the path here. That might actually work. Right? So let's see. We'll delete the truck. Delete that. Now, the spot that's going to be probably a problem is this turning radius. It's going to make it much, well, not much smaller, but smaller. If I grab here, we bring this up. Likes to twist for some reason. We come, say, here. First off, let's copy the truck here. And see, a player is in the way. I know, I have to move. There. So that should clear that with not a problem. And it should clear the other truck as well. That's going to hit some of these rocks. I could probably blow them up, which shouldn't be a problem either. So that does give us a little bit more room. But how is that going to match up here as we turn? That's going to be the question. So if that's going to go straight here, all these have to be redone. There we go. And I'm going to have to grab that. Now the reason I'm leaving this in is so you kind of have an idea how to fix stuff like this. Now, this has to come in, and come on. I gotta turn it. Is it in the right direction? Maybe it's not. Is that going in the right direction? No, it's not. Okay. That could be a problem. Alright, let's use this as a reference point. So that is going that way. That one's going that way. So we actually need this to come this way. That works. That does not. I'm going to get rid of this one because it's easier to grab from this point and do that, and then come from this side and go into here. Now that's a little close to the truck stop there. I'm going to come out a little bit more, and that works. And then we're going to have to take this straight away, come back into here, stop there. Now that does not like there, but again, if you slide it down a little bit, it's a little close to that. That is true. But it should be all right. It should be. And then we need this to come there. That works. And then we need another one from here to there. Now it does not like that very much. And that is the only point I can snap to there. So I could back this up a little bit here. See if that'll work. And it does. So that's kind of the best way. If it doesn't snap here very well, slide it back just a little further and it might give it just enough give to give you that turn. So now that looks a lot better as far as the trucks being able to pass each other. So anyway, I'm going to hook up the rest of these guys to the road, to the truck stops, and then we'll try to get a truck up and running to see how it goes. I do have these over here connected, and they're also going to have to make a stop. So when we make stops, they're going to have to stop at the gas station. So say it's picking up copper sheets. It's going to go from the copper sheets, probably to the gas station, then drop off, then go back to the copper sheets, then to the gas station, and then drop off. So that's how that's going to work. So anyway, I'll stop talking your head off because you're probably sick of hearing me. And I'm going to finish running these truck paths. Again, if you guys have any issues, troubles, hard time doing any of this stuff, just come on into the Discord. The link is in the description. I don't have a problem showing you how to do it in the VC, or show me your pictures, anything like that. I'll help you out. I could even get in your game if you'd like me to, and I'll be happy to help. So yeah, I'll be back. Alright, so I finished setting these guys up. I know this looks like shit. Don't worry about it. Don't pay any attention to the shit. I have to make sure these guys work. Let's go ahead. No colorization, no building set up yet. Let's set up one here. So we're gonna need to put a truck. Let's set up this first. Alright, so this should be interesting. Truck stop. We need a truck. So let's grab a truck. So let's go into truck. This is not set up. Oh, it is not. I thought I finished setting this all up. I did not. See that? So yeah, make sure your shit is set up. Because apparently I got a little bit overexcited when I finished setting up. And I did not finish. So anyway, let's finish this up, and then we'll start by getting a truck up and running to one of our factories. And then I gotta set it all up. It's gonna be interesting. Yes, we gotta end up there. That's fine. Again, I've been doing this for quite a few hours. And yeah, it gets extremely monotonous sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna come from here, turn into here. Where's the best spot? Can I go? Nope. Right there. And then you can delete that. That will work. And then I can delete that one. That will work. And then I need to grab this because this has got to come off of here, come into here, and then back this one up into here somewhere where it might work a little better. Come on. There we go. All right, so that's connected, that's connected, that's connected. Okay, I think everybody's connected up. All right, so let's try this. Let's grab a truck. Any truck. Let's grab a truck. I'm just going to put him, say, on... Ugh, I can't get out of this site here. I want to go on the main road here. Come on. Nope. Let's come back off of these truck stops. There we go. He is facing the wrong direction. Of course he is. I mean, fuck my life. Yes. There we go. Is he in the right direction? No, he's not. Because he's in the wrong lane. That is why. Yeah, they kind of have to be. You know what? We need to go back to the gas station because, let me tell you why. There's no fuel for this guy at all. So, he's definitely going to need fuel. So we'll just pop him on down. I'm going to steal some fuel. Yeah, we're just going to steal some fuel. And I'm going to put it into his fuel here. There we go. And then let's jump in the truck. Okay. Hit Q. No, not Q. F to load cargo into truck. No. We don't want to do any of that. Vehicle path. That's what we want. All right, so we have fuel drop off. 1, 2, 3. 1, 4. We don't need any of these. That's just the fuel stations. And then we have a ton of truck stations that we have to label. We have not labeled any of these truck stations. So, I am going to jump out of this truck. And then I'm going to label a truck station. Man, I have a lot of work to do. All right, but we want to make sure this works for at least one. So I'm just going to leave that truck there for a moment. Let's come on over to the steel here. That seems like the easiest thing to do here. This is pipes. So I thought I named this. No, I did not. So this is, let's just name it pipes. Factory. All right. Did that keep? Yes. All right, this is Beams Factory. All right. Hello. There we go. So this is to load. It's going to load up from here. And I believe I fucked up because it's supposed to unload and load up there. So I have to switch all these around because I just fucked everything up. It's fine. It happens. Yeah, these are supposed to unload. And then the ones on top are supposed to load. I don't know why I did them backwards. It's fine. I've been working on this way too long. Alright, so we're going to start with this one. Alright, this is going to be the unload. Here, I will go around and change the rest of them. So, but before we do that, this is going to be, say, pipes, warehouse. I think so. Yeah, pipes warehouse. Okay, enter. Okay. And this is gonna be beams warehouse. Warehouse. Enter. Alright. Next. Forget the ones upstairs. They don't matter. Not right now. That's only when we need to pick up. We'll figure that out. Because that should be beams. Okay, we're going to have to fix the name of those. But before we do that, we need these gas pumps to be numbered. So we have, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this will be, say, gas 8. All right. This one will be gas 7. Enter. All right. This is going to be set to nothing, because what we're doing is fueling up. Yes. Okay. All right. I think we are. Don't quote me, but I think it should work. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really work with trucks that often. I've done trains quite a few times, but trucks, not so much. All right, so let's go back to here. And the reason why we need to go back up to here is because these need a distinct name. So this would be Pipes Warehouse Unload. All right. And then the other one will be Load. So if we don't do that, then when we go to pick up stuff, we won't know what's what, right? All right. So now we need to get a truck. Any truck. Now, any truck that we put on a path should work. Actually, we have a truck, right? Don't we? We do have a truck. All right, let's go to this truck over here. Right here. Let's name this gas pump. What did I say? So that's 8 and 7. That's 6 and 5. 4 and 3. This would be 2. So this would be 4. So gas 4. All right. There we go. Let's get into this truck. Nope. All right. Q. Vehicle path. All right. So it's going to go to the beams factory. It's going to go to gas. Actually, it could pick up and then it could drop off. So the beams factory, then we need the beams warehouse unload. And then we're going to put it on gas pump 4. And then we're going to enable autopilot. So let's take a little ride. So this might take a crazy path, which is obvious. But yeah, let's see what it does. These roads may have to be adjusted. I know there's a lot going on. It's going to hit this guy, of course. There we go. Well, he shouldn't have been in the road. Yeah, so these are, they're going to take crazy routes. You can't set a specific truck route for a specific truck. They're going to take the shortest route, and that's just what they do. So now this guy, he's got to figure out, I got to figure out, I assume, I don't know how he's going to do this, but we'll figure it out. Let's see what he does. I think there might be a turnaround. He might have to go in a crazy path. Yeah, no. No. There we go. All right. All right, so that's something. He picked it up. That's good to know. Another thing I'm not sure of is how it's going to work filling up the gas. Because it's got to go into the gas tank, not load anything. So I'm not sure how that works. We'll find out. All right, so now he's going to drop off at our beams, and then I want to see where he goes at the gas station. I don't know if I could press Q. Okay, so we used about 8 gallons of gas, it looks like, or 8 tanks of gas. He does have our beams. They should get unloaded here. He took the right path. That's great. He got back onto the road. He is unloading. Press Q. Let's wait until it completes. Oh, and then he bounced back to the road. That was interesting. All right, so now he's got to go to the gas station. Why he jumped backwards, I don't know, but I heard it's a bug. We'll see what happens. So I am quite interested in what path he'll take to get back to the gas station. This turn might be tight. Is he going to go over the concrete? A little bit, yeah. We might have to cut that corner. That's not a problem. This corner, I think I already did cut it. Yeah, that's good. They don't go all that fast. That's fine. He's going to hit this guy again. He didn't learn his lesson the first time, apparently. So setting up this kind of thing is extremely time consuming. It's probably taken me maybe 20 hours to just get to this point to figure out the exact spacing and labeling and stuff like that. It's crazy. But how is he going? Where is he going? That is not gas station 4. So he's going this way because it's his shortest route. Okay. That turns the corner a little tightly. Now, does it load up the gas? It did. He is now 100% full, and he'll continue on his way. All right, so we got number 1 done. I do want to... Wow, I just got hit by a car. I am going to do a couple more. Actually, I'm going to leave, and I'm going to try to figure out doing all of them. And labeling all of them. Wish me luck. And I will be back when all the trucks are moving. I don't know if this building's going to get done today, but I'm going to try to get the trucks all up and running. This is going to take me quite a long time to label each one of these, each one of the above, and all the gas stations and get the trucks up and running. So we got the beams at least done. I think we should set up the pipes next. So let me grab the truck for the pipe since we labeled everything on that. And we'll have 2 vehicles going. Well, we actually have the gas ones going as well. But let's see. I don't have gas, do I? No, I don't. Let me see. Do I have fuel in here? I do. I have 11. That should make it. It should. It should make it. Let's pop that in there. Let's go in here. Queue. Vehicle path. This one is for pipes. We'll set it up for gas station 8 first. It makes sense. We're going to go to the pipes factory. And then we're going to go to the pipes warehouse. Hit the autopilot on. I won't let you sit through another one, but I'll check that guy when he comes back. Alright, so I'm going to be setting up all these. And shit, I'll be back hopefully. I hope so. We'll see. And I'm going to probably try to color code these to kind of match. So I know what trucks are going where. Which is also going to be a little bit weird, but I mean, the copper is going to be copper, so I know it's either wire, copper sheets, or cable. Steel, whatever I made the steel factory, maybe that yellow. I'm going to probably turn the gas ones back to the fix-it color of orange. The concrete will make white, and the gray color we'll use for that. And I'll be back. Alright, so all the trucks are up and running and everything is actually functioning quite well. Surprisingly. Surprisingly, I'm pretty shocked. But anyway, let me show you something. I did have one issue. And that was, for some reason, the pipes truck did not like the turnout. So let me show you where the pipes was. Can I get up here? No, I cannot because I did not jump at the right moment, but it's fine. So here, he kept getting stuck here. He did not like turning back into this spot right here. So I did open up this here, and the copper guys over by the copper sheets and stuff, they also really, wow, he's flying, really like it as well. So sometimes you need to just give them a different path. I have noticed they are not taking, many of them are not taking the up-down route. So the concrete will actually come out of there, turn around, come back down in here, drop off, and there goes the fucking fire alarm. Of course, the whole time I did not talk, I was just doing this. The fire alarm did not go off, and of course when I start talking, and you know what? I'm mistaken because that truck just... Okay, that truck's using this. Not too bad. I'm pretty happy about that, especially when we start working the top. I know they're going to use it a lot more, obviously, because it is one of the only ways to get up and down from here. So I got everything pretty much up and running. I'm pretty happy with it. Let me just show... Whoa, wait, something's going on here. So, look on the map here. So we have a lot of crap going on. By the way, all the trucks... Wow, vehicle has been waiting a long time at this junction. Vehicle's been waiting a long time at this junction. Let's see what's going on here. That is a little scary. There's a lot going on here. This guy apparently is stuck. It is this guy. Let me press F. He does not, you know, I don't know. What if I take him off of here? So this is what I've been finding. A lot of times, it's too many options. Sometimes I think simpler is better. Because otherwise they get tangled up. Now, let's go back to our map where those other guys were stuck. That seems to have let up the other guys. It seems like one truck can affect them all. I think that's because they have a pause method. So anyway, these guys are turning around and going back down and going into there. Again, too many options, not a good idea. And yeah, because they gotta come in from that side, that could be a problem. Now, if I removed, say, this option right here, right, for them to turn around, and they could only go that way. Let's do that. They would have to go up top. So basically, they're coming in from here, and then he's leaving and going that way. So I gave them the one-way option, not the option to turn around. That actually might force them, let's see, they would have to come up and go this way, and they have options to go back down. And once they went back down, yeah, they could turn here and get back into there. So let's see, this guy's coming around now. Let's take a little ride with him, just to show you. So he can come down all the way. And let's just follow him. I'll stop talking. It's nice to take a peaceful little ride. So I must say, even though I said I would shut up, when you have this many trucks going on, you cannot expect for it to not have some issues. You know, but it's gotten so much better. Originally, these trucks did not stop for other trucks. So they literally ran into each other all the time. Now, through my parking garage warehouse, I have realized that these probably should have been a little bit more spaced apart. If I wanted to give them their own row, also give them more space in between. But you know what? It's fine. It's working. And as you can see, he wants to get out this way. He could have turned down the aisle before. I gave them a space down the middle. But he did not want to take that route. They seem to find their own route. And sometimes it's shorter. Sometimes it's not. It's just, I don't know. That's just the way it is. But yeah, let's continue to follow him just so you could see the actual paths and how they kind of figure out which way they're going. Again, if you give them one-way options, that is not a bad idea, but I want it to look more realistic. I see there's an issue, so I'm getting the exclamation points on top. So we're gonna have to cut this short a second and see what is the issue. So they have been waiting in the junction for a while. Now, it's over that way. So let's go see what's going on over that way. So it's gonna probably be in the parking garage. Let's hop on up, jump down, and see where this is. So it's this guy. This guy's the problem. I just changed this route. So he probably wants to take this and he wants to take it out. So we have to go over to here. So he probably wants to go there. There you go. So you could see sometimes they just don't want to take a specific path. They want to go that way. When I cleaned up some of this, I must have forgot to connect him back up. Now that one's happy and that one's happy. So actually, this should be connected to this one as well, so they don't have to wait for that guy. Alright, so the building is complete. I actually finished the building. It took quite a while to do. I did notice that I checked all the storage, and the copper sheets, they were not coming in. It was because I have storage over on the copper sheets factory, and it ended up that, what is that flashing? Alien stuff, probably. Anyway, the copper sheets had storage over at the factory over there, and there was missing a belt. So it's all good now, it's all filling up. What? I hate that it's flashing. I don't know why it's flashing. That stupid sunlight. Anyway, now that that's complete, every factory has a space here, except for our plastic and our rubber. That I might have to hook up so we could get some plastic and rubber over here. Also, now that that's complete, I really want to start cleaning up our home base. We don't need this stuff anymore. I'll probably keep the storage off to the side. I'll also move over our dimensional depots into this space. We need a new hub space where we're gonna put our hub. Maybe right in here. I don't even, that might not be a bad idea. Either here, maybe in that empty space there. But over here, there's no nodes that I know of, so it might be a good spot for the hub. But I think centrally located, it might be better here. There is a concrete spot there, but nothing crazy, and it's got kind of that platform on top. So I think the hub might do really well there. So after we do all that, we definitely need a motors factory, encased beams factory, so much stuff. So we have a lot of work to do to get going here. So with that being said, if you like my content, like, subscribe, comment, share. I do have memberships, 99 cents and $2.99. With the $2.99, you'll get a shout out after every video, just like coming up next. Thanks for watching. Bye.